Nuñez checking in, lucky shirt, and I wanted to go over just a lot of the details of my contest prep. And again, one of the main reasons that I haven't been going over plenty of the details has been because up until recently there hasn't been too much structure. And let me go ahead and point it this way. There hasn't been a lot of structure, and the main reason is because I've been trying to keep things loose as long as possible. So I've been trying to slowly get into better shape, but I haven't been necessarily tracking, or not tracking everything, but I've been more or less keeping track of my intake. But there hasn't been, I guess, how do I say this, exact quotas or amounts that I have been following. And big reason is because this potentially is going to be a season that is going to run into the cold months, into November, all the fall pro shows. That's where all the big pro shows take place, by the way. Competition really starts getting steep at some point. Not that it always isn't, but it really starts getting harsh later in the year. So I'm potentially going to be competing during those months. So during the early the spring and summer shows, it's more or less just kind of not being as much of a nutritional rebel of sorts, meaning just, I guess it's really, because it doesn't sound right, especially coming from someone who's bodybuilding, but more or less just taking a moderate approach to things. Going out but not overeating, having a few drinks with friends, but again not overdoing it, things like that. So, and again, the main reason is because at some point I'm going to be a hyper-focused, super type A kind of bodybuilder, but I don't need to I guess force feed myself that, simply because these first few stages of fat loss are relatively easy. They just kind of come to me for the most part, but for this next leg I will need some structure, and I will need to stay true to certain macronutrient totals. I will need to do some kind of cardio, and I wanted to share what that plan is going to look like. So again, first big show is in 16 weeks. That's the first big show. There's many shows before that, but I will be primed and ready to go 16 weeks from now for the California Muscle Mayhem. They're the pro division of the show, called the IFPA Pro USA. And then 4 days later, 3 days later, I'm competing at USA PL Raw Nationals, which means that's going to be pretty cool, because Saturday I'm going to be on a bodybuilding stage, and then next Wednesday, the very next Wednesday, I'm going to be on the platform. So, but before we get into what shows and what the tentative schedule looks like, let's go ahead and just look at the numbers and kind of just address what it is that I'm doing to get there. So where your max at, bruh? Okay, so this is what I'm doing on my low days. My fat is at 40 grams, my carbs at 425, protein 240. I'm thinking every third or fourth day, these are going to be my high day numbers, or my refeed numbers. Again, it might seem like very little fat. That I think that's because low day calories are at about 3,000, and total fat intake's about 12%. But to tell you the truth, if there is one macronutrient that I can do without, it's probably this one. So when I remove a lot of my dietary fat, simply because I respond very well to these, and because of the total volume and just how often I work out, I respond. I need plenty of that one. This is kind of the one that can go. I guess that they can go, and I don't necessarily feel. And if anything, I guess the funny part is it. And I guess as a natural bodybuilder, people see this and they freak out. But in my own personal experience, and again, we are all, I wouldn't say super unique, but in my own experience, previous experience, I am much more sensitive to hormonal things going haywire when my calories are too low, rather than just, focusing on what my dietary fat intake is. And to tell you the truth, at no point during any pre-contest diet, at least not any of the more recent ones, have I actually felt much hormonal backlash, if any at all. I think the only symptom I really get is slight moodiness at the end, but I think that's quite normal when it's been a few weeks without an extra 2, 3, 4, or 8 sushi rolls that I'm used to in the off season. But these are the numbers, and again, subject to change. But I do think that for the most part, maybe the lowest I will have to dig when it comes to this one, the carbs primarily, is maybe 375 at some point. So carbs have been going up, actually, but I've also been getting more and more precise, and as I get leaner, I just depend more and more on my carbs. I mean, carbs just make me feel good, and that's the end of that. But these are the numbers. This is where I'm starting at. Feel wonderful on the carb intake, and it's really helping getting this training going. So the training, Monday is my big 3-day, because again, I'm doing the whole powerlifting thing along with the whole bodybuilding thing. So Monday is my big 3-day with volume, so more volume, a lot of volume work, a lot of practice, you could say, with the big 3 movements, big 3 being the squat, bench, and deadlift. And then Tuesday is more of a typical bodybuilder pull volume day. Wednesday is more of a volume, lower body day. We throw in some extensions and some leg curls and all that stuff, and a little extra bench press practice as well. Thursday is a full rest day. Often I'll sneak some cardio in there though. And then Friday, it's a heavier big 3, and then I'll get some rowing, mostly for shoulder health at that point. And Saturday or Sunday, we work out the nightclub muscles, and the nightclub muscles being shoulders and arms. And it's either Saturday or Sunday, and I think that's going to just flop around depending on whether or not I have a show to attend to that Saturday. And the contest season will get it going pretty soon here. So almost every Saturday is going to be occupied with not necessarily my show, but the shows of friends, athletes, all that. So that's basically what it looks like. Those are my macronutrients, and that's my training. And really briefly, that is my cardio, which typically means I will walk for about 45 minutes 3 times a week, and yeah, that's it. So nothing too exciting, and I think this will get the job done. I'm sitting at about, lowest weight has been 167 pounds, and I am looking to get to, I'd say, about 161 this year, and I'll be fully ready and able to get on stage and not have cheeseburger booty when I turn around. For all the sacrificing we're going to be making, let's talk about what we're trying to win with all the sacrificing. So why would you sacrifice if you're not sacrificing to win, as they say? So let's go back to the board. So just the April and May schedule. So my season opens up April 12th. It's the OCB Uprising in Plattsburgh, New York. I will not be competing. I will be there helping judge the show alongside Ryan Doors is going to be there. Doug Miller's going to be there. A lot of notable names will be there. And I think, if anything, as a competitor, if you're looking for a show to open up your season with, to get a lot of good feedback from some of those names I just mentioned, this is the show you want to do. Because, look, it's an early show. You might be at 90%, let's say, for example. But I guess you could say that it would be a good time to get some kind of... I don't want to call it intervention, but I'll call it intervention for the lack of a better term, and it can potentially help you, catapult you, or send you in the right direction the rest of your season. So it's a great show. It's going to be just magnificent in terms of how it's set up. That I do know. The judging panel is going to be a judging panel that most athletes will find very comforting, and you will be able to get a lot of feedback, not just that Saturday, but the Sunday afterwards, as we train and go over hold some mini clinics and a bunch of good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's basically how my bodybuilding season opens up. We will be having a big party in Plattsburgh, New York. If you're a competitor, even if you're not running on all cylinders yet, please do this show, because again, I think it's one of those gems back east that a lot of folks don't know about just yet. And not only that, but I really look forward to, I guess, having a meathead weekend where we just the following Sunday get together and lift, talk, and help each other out. So April 12th is when, I guess, it's opening day, and then May 3rd is my first real show, and that's going to be in it's the NGA Pro Atlas. That's going to be in Idaho. I think it's Eagle, Idaho. Yeah, Eagle, Idaho is where it's going to be held. I've done this show in the past. I really love the way the promoter takes care of business in regards to the venues he picks. Just quality from beginning to end, and looking forward to, I guess, making that my 2014 debut, and it's exciting to just talk about that. And then after that, we have the NPC Contra Costa. That's going to be in Hayward, California. That's typically where that one is held, Hayward, California. I think it's the biggest NPC show out here, and that's going to be a lot of fun to do. Amazing crowds show up for that one, and it's just local bragging rights around here in California. So NPC Contra Costa May 10th, and then the 24th. So if I don't qualify for the NPC Team Universe, which is part of my plans for this year, if I don't qualify at the NPC Contra Costa, which is a rough show to qualify in, so if I don't do it, my second shot's going to be the NPC California State. This is in Culver City, so in Southern California, I believe. Yeah, I think it's somewhere, or at least closer to Southern California than Northern California. So the NPC California State is going to be May 24th. If I don't qualify for NPC Team Universe on the 10th. If I do, there's a good chance I will go ahead and head over to, I believe this one's in Minnesota, the IFPA Pro North America. So as of now, this is what we're trying to get done.